Good morning, good morning, good morning, my ladies. It is Monday morning and time for Monday morning movement. Thought I'd come to you this morning. Did not get a chance to come to you on Saturday for check-in, as I had some much needed time that I got to spend with my husband. We didn't have the kids for a couple of hours, so we took full advantage of that time to be able to just sit, chit chat, laugh. I'm outside this morning and it's 7:38 and it's still dark outside. For the parts of the United States that participate in the daylight savings where the time changes, we have experienced this time change as of yesterday morning, and it's still dark outside. And it brings me to a concept about different seasons in our marriage and in our families, because we have those times where times do change, things do change. But as wives, we have to take the stance to know that we have to be on top of those time changes. So yes, although the time changed on yesterday, there's still things that we have to do. There were still obligations that I had to be sure that I took care of as of yesterday, as the same as this morning. Be sure that I got my kids to school on time. Be here at the office on time. Those are things that we still have to make sure that we're doing, that we follow through with what it is that we're supposed to do, even when times change, even when our situations change. Be on top of it. Be aware of it. Understand how it affects and impacts you, and be able to be that level of service to your family so that the impact doesn't be that rough for them. Because that's what we as wives do. We help to mitigate, we help to soothe the hard times. We help to diminish the hard times, especially within our families. And that gets hard for us sometimes. But I'll give you a key nugget, something that I have learned, is to learn to find joy in the service that you give to your family and to your husband. So I told you on Saturday night, we had a few hours where the kids were not at home. When my son came home, he had a full day. Earlier that afternoon, my husband had grilled some meat, and he and my nephew were outside playing. He allowed them to skip their naps, which usually I don't allow, but hey, it was the weekend and I wasn't home at the time. So he let them play, and then later on that afternoon, we all met out at the park because my brother had bought my son and my nephew some kites. So they were out flying kites at the park, and we were just out walking around having a good time. So by the time he made it home that night, he was exhausted, and he took a shower, and he wanted me to pick him up out of the shower, and I did. And he had an absolute total meltdown. And because of that, I knew the results of that meltdown. He was just tired. He was tired, and he just wanted some of mommy's extra love and care. And because at that moment I didn't give it to him, he lost it. He was crying. I went into his room and I told him, I said, scoot over. So I laid down in the bed beside him. And ladies, if I could have counted the time, I would say in a minute, he was sound asleep. He reached out. He could feel that I was there. He knew that I was there. He felt comforted, and he was asleep. And after I eased out of the bed, once he was asleep, I went into a moment of reflection for myself. Because what I thought about, I said, now, how many times has my husband come home and he has had quite the day? He's exhausted, and he just needed a little tender love and care from me to help soothe the roughness of that day. And how many times may have been so engaged with what I was doing, so involved with, cooking, cleaning, whatever you do as far as routine once you're off in the afternoons. But I was so engaged into something else that I didn't take the time to provide that extra care, that extra love, that extra touch that could have just helped to soothe that moment right then and there for him. So it made me think, ladies, because the role that we play as wives, we want to be on top of those things. And I have learned to find joy in being able to provide that extra tender love and care for my husband especially, and for my children as well. Being able to look and read those signs to know, hey, okay, they're having a rough day. What can I do to step in to provide something a little extra so that they feel that extra love and care? They feel that extra tenderness. Being able to have joy without receiving something in return. Having joy without needing something in return is a game changer for how, one, you will communicate with your husband and your family, but two, and how they appreciate what you do for them. Learn to find joy in how you serve your family. The sermon yesterday that my pastor, Pastor Sean, talked about, he talked about service is not for you. So the service that I give in my family is for my husband, it's for my children, it's not for me. And that goes the same for us. Anytime you provide service, the service isn't for you. It's for the people in which you serve. And when you can have joy in providing that service, it sends a message. It sends a message to the people that you serve. Sometimes it's just the little things. It's just the little things. Think about if you were to fix a plate for your husband. How does he like his food fixed? Well, for my husband, you know, if we're having something that has like a gravy or a broth, he prefers to have the meat on top of his rice. So if I fix his plate the way he likes it, that's a service I'm providing. When I provide him that plate, I give him that plate and put it in front of him, what that says is, I paid attention to what you like. I decided to give you more of what you like, what you desire. That, ladies, without using words, is a game changer on how you just show appreciation for being able to serve the man that you have said I do to. The man that you have vowed to the Lord that you're going to respect and that you're going to honor. What that does in turn, you can't express it in words. Now, I'll tell you right off, sometimes it may not always be noticed. But that joy, that key of what I'm telling you, you having the joy, it doesn't require anything in return. One of my sisters, the one that's right under me, she is an amazing cook and an amazing baker. And I try and tell her all the time that I absolutely love the love that she puts into the food and into the things that she bakes and that she cooks. You can just taste it. She has joy in doing what it is that she does. And she doesn't need my feedback to give the love that she already gives, because the food's already been cooked. That's having joy in what you do. Having joy in what you do. So I'm smirking a little bit because I'm in the parking lot of my office and I left my weekly planner inside my car. I'm in my husband's vehicle today. And because he's off, he decided that he'd bring the planner to me. Now, he didn't have to do that. That wasn't his responsibility. But I would say, because of the joy that I have adopted in providing service to him, He don't mind doing those extra things. He don't mind going out of his way sometimes to say, hey, you know what? I got it. I'll make sure you have what you need. That's a game changer, ladies. Communication, elevating communication, aligning communication is where it's at. I think about this challenge that I started, and you can go back and look because I posted it on YouTube. There are a few videos. I was doing this 100-day challenge that I was going to execute, and I was going to take charge and do it, but I failed. I failed at it because I didn't execute it. And then I'm in a challenge right now, and it makes me think, well, what's different? What did you do differently this go around that you didn't do the last time? And what I'll tell you, ladies, is that I adopted this process for aligning and elevating my communication, and I'm rocking this challenge. I'm rocking it. And the challenge that I'm in this Arise and Shine community with Dr. Una from the Dominion City Church in Georgia. And she has given us a challenge to do 5 things. There's 5 things that we do every day. And I can say that since January, there were some days that have come that I didn't complete everything that I was supposed to complete. But I will tell you, is here lately, I have made the decision that I am the child of God that shows up the way that I'm supposed to show up. And I've been completing my 5 things on a daily basis. Ladies, find joy in providing service to your husbands and to your family. It's a game changer for how things will work for you. I can promise you. You want to learn more about this elevating and aligning communication? I'll have some more of that coming for you. I've got a course that I have completed that I'll be able to share with you so that you yourself can align and elevate your communication as well and conquer your challenges. I love you, and I'll talk to you again soon. This is Monday Morning Movement.